there's possibly one thing lurking in the background that a lot of people have a nervousness when initially kind of exposed to conference room style, is the idea of giving up this, right? The clicker, right? Because this is the control thing, right? So when I'm projecting slides, I'm in charge. Right? I decide when we advance. I decide what we're talking about. I decide when we go from one slide to the next. I control everything in the room. I control exactly what's going on in your mind at any moment, right? Ha! I wish, right? It's the illusion of control that this thing gives you, right? Because you're up here jabbering away, slide after slide, flip, 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 and you think people are with you. Who knows? Who knows whether they're thinking, when's the guy going to shut up? When's our next break? My parking ticket, whatever, right? So one of the benefits of conference room style is you give up this illusion, right? This pretense that somehow you're in charge, right? And in return, what you get is feedback, right? Because I can look around the room all day long and see who's on the same page as I am, who's bored and reading ahead, right? Who's somehow struggling and falling behind. And so just by scanning the room, you get a sense of, are we all together? Right now, it looks like we're all together. That's great, you know. But here's the thing. By giving people the deck in their hands and basically giving up even the sense of control, allowing people to read ahead if they want to, right, recognizes the human freedom of the people you are communicating to, right? There's an illusion, I think, we have in communication that says human beings communicate like machines. Send, receive, send, receive, send. It doesn't work that way, right? It's one free being communicating, trying to persuade another. And so the person on the receiving end can reject, can ignore, can disagree with, can argue, right? And to the extent that you ignore that or avoid that, you actually diminish communication and you harm the relationship. To the extent that you realize that people listening can argue with you, disagree, raise questions, right? Read ahead, ignore you, right? It actually strengthens the communication, believe it or not, right? Because you're giving people the freedom to be who they are and to disagree with you, right? And if they disagree with you, there's no amount of tying them to their chair and showing slides at them that's ever going to make them change their minds. The only time they're going to change their minds is when they say, I disagree, and here's why. And then you have the opportunity to say, oh, well, I think this, and I have this other information. And they go, oh, well, back, forth, back, forth. Eventually, we come to some kind of consensus, hopefully, right? Hopefully. But it's certainly better than if we just ignore their objections and keep yelling at them, right, or talking at them. Do you see the difference? So this is, if this makes you a little nervous, right, that's understandable, because we're giving up that crutch of, I stand here and I deliver and I pretend that you're receiving, right? Instead, though, we face the reality of, here are my ideas, here are my suggestions, here's my analysis. Let's talk about it in a way that allows you to push back, me to respond, and have some kind of a dialogue. As a result, the end product tends to be more effective, more likely to get persuasion, more likely for it to stick, more likely for stronger relationships to build.